Hey, what's going on, guys? Tre'Leon Bay here. Today's topic, we're talking about the #1 income producing activity for wholesaling real estate. Now, when it comes down to wholesaling real estate and when newbies are just getting started and you're a beginner, I get a lot of questions from folks like, where do I start? Or, you've been looking online, you've been watching videos and you've been reading forums, and now you want to start being active, right? You want to start getting in the game and taking action. And a lot of times as beginners, and myself included, we can do a lot of activities that make us feel like we're busy, that make us feel like we're working, but it's not the things that we should be focusing on, right? If you want to do this business, then you just have to be consistent. And I say that all the time, but what you want to do is you want to be consistent on the right things. Now, when I first got started, I was spending weeks trying to figure out Podio and trying to get my CRM system together and all types of automation before I even got deals, right? I'm trying to get my website together and build a website from scratch and make it nice and shiny and original, thinking that I needed that, right? Sometimes I get coaching students and they like, I want to get business cards first. I don't want to do any phone calls until I get business cards. And all of those things are just really not a waste of time, because those things will be useful later. But when you're just starting out and you want to get to the fastest path of you getting the deal and having success, your #1 income producing activity is actually talking to sellers and negotiating with sellers and sending offers. When you get good at those things, talking to sellers and negotiating with sellers and sending them the right offers, you're going to inevitably become masters at wholesaling. If you do enough phone calls and you go on enough appointments with sellers and you run enough numbers for those houses and send enough offers, you're going to be closing deals month after month after month. If you can do those activities over and over and over again, everything else is icing on the cake. I know people who are doing this business and are killing it without a website, without a CRM system, without business cards. I know people who are literally killing it every single month. You don't need those things. But if you're someone like me who likes automation, you like technology, you like being able to streamline things when you have a whole lot of business coming in, then yes, a CRM system and a website giving you credibility and business cards and all those things will do you a purpose. But that's after the fact. That's after you already know what you're doing. That's after you're generating a whole bunch of business at that point where you need to be able to streamline things. If you haven't gotten to that point, then you don't need to focus on those things yet. You're just literally prolonging the process. Now, it took me a whole year to be able to get my first deal. And the only reason why it took me so long, because I was focused on everything but the income producing activity that I'm telling you right now. Once I actually got real with myself and I said, you know what? You're doing all of these things because you're trying to avoid from doing the hard part, which is talking to sellers and learning how to talk to people on the phone and negotiate and things like that. When I actually got real with myself and I really start finding my why, I was like, I need to do this right now. I don't have no more time to waste. I've already been trying this for a year. We're at the point where I didn't quit my job. I didn't put everything on the line. Now I'm at a point where I need to make this happen. And so when I got clear with my why and my need to make this happen, and I was no longer comfortable in my situation, and then also when I told myself like, hey, stop all the busy work, you're gonna do exactly what needs to be done when it comes down to making money in this business, it came down to me talking to as many sellers as possible, learning negotiations, learning how to run numbers on properties, and actually going on appointments. And so that's the things that you should be focused on right now as a real estate wholesaler. Right? So now, if you have your #1 focus, that means, and you can streamline it too when it comes down to your thought process. It's a few moving parts in this business, but it's not a whole lot of things that you should be thinking about at one time. So your first thing is you're thinking about, where are the motivated sellers at, right? Nowadays there's lists that you can buy online. All right, so it's not even you got to drive for dollars or go and do a whole bunch of looking online for sellers. You can do those things, of course. You can find sellers anywhere. But the fastest way to just buy a list and be able to either skip trace that list and get right to the phone calls, or send out a bunch of mailers to sellers. Real simple to be able to find leads. Finding leads is easy. The hard part is when those leads call you, or when it's time to call those leads, picking up the phone and knowing exactly what to say and being confident in what you're saying. And then once you're actually sitting in front of the seller and you're going on appointments, then you want to be able to know your numbers. and know exactly what to say inside the seller's house. All right, so it's a step-by-step process. The first thing is just finding a seller. After you find that seller, you want to focus on getting on the phone with that seller and scheduling an appointment. All right, real simple. So you don't have to think about the rest of the steps that's coming on later. Just think about first step, second step, third step, one step at a time. All right, once you find those sellers, just think about telling yourself, I need to get on the phone with these sellers. Get on the phone with as many sellers as possible. And then when you're on the phone with that seller, the only thing you're thinking about is making an appointment. Making as many appointments as possible with those sellers. Once you make an appointment, the only thing you're thinking about inside the appointment is how can I be able to negotiate or build rapport or actually get in front of the seller and know exactly what to say so that they know I'm the person to be able to solve their problem and be the solutionist at that point. So this business really can be simple. You know, we make it harder than what it needs to be, and a lot of times it's because we're trying to avoid from doing the work that's going to make us the most money. All right, so guys, that's what I believe is the #1 income producing activity for you as a wholesaler. If you're a beginner and you find yourself, you know, getting out of you're basically being all over the place and being overwhelmed with all the things that you should be doing and focused on, and you're doing everything but getting deals, then that's your problem right there, is because you're not focused on the right thing. Finding a mentor or a partner that's already been there can help you out tremendously. That's what I did. I found the mentor. I partnered with people who were already doing it. I bought real estate courses that already had proven systems so that I didn't have to reinvent the wheel. And then I committed to having success using those systems. And then I started to tweak it and create my own system along the way. All right, so that's what I recommend you do. Find a mentor or find a partner that's already doing it. If you'd like to partner with me, I'm available. I'm ready for you. Just hit me up personally. All right, peace.